Hey guys, my name is Justin and welcome to Hellsborough, where we care about the design behind designer luxury. And if you do too, make sure to subscribe. So for today's video, I have another Battle Royale. The theme of today's Battle Royale, as you probably saw in the description for the video, is I wanted to do something based on Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. A lot of brands, they put out little capsule collections for Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. I'll probably just keep calling it Lunar New Year just because that's it rolls off the tongue easier for me. Oftentimes, they're not either super interesting or they're just a little lazy or something like that, but I gathered a group of bags that I thought was mostly interesting. I guess if you're also just unaware what a Battle Royale is we take 8 bags, pit them one against each other, tournament style, until we're left with the winner. For this, I'll be looking at the style of the bag, versatility, all those kinds of things, but one thing that I also wanted to consider, is it interesting enough from their normal bags? Is it just something repackaged, easy to kind of like a cop-out, kind of like how we're seeing a lot of collaborations where they just stick another logo on their bag or something like that. Is that what we're seeing again? So today's bags are the Gucci Dans Le Vert print large tote. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Mulberry Miffy Billie mini pouch, the Marc Jacobs Year of the Rabbit snapshot, the Bottega Veneta women's Calimero, the Moschino Chinese New Year Special Edition bunny black leather biker shoulder bag, the Givenchy small 4G Oswald bag with chain, the Loewe bunny bag in shearling, and the Burberry rabbit motif faux fur small Lola bag. Alright, let's get started with round 1.
Round 1, match 1.
Gucci large tote versus Mulberry Billie mini pouch.
Fight.
So for the Gucci bag, it is basically a large rectangular tote made out of leather. It has a print that says Dans Le Vert. Apparently Dans Le Vert means in the green. And then there's some bunnies printed on the front. I think it's a nice colorway. It's this turquoisey, light bluish kind of color with some red details. I think the red is a nice touch if we're talking specifically about Chinese New Year. I don't know about other cultures if red plays as important of a part when it comes to the Lunar New Year, but for sure that's a nice little touch. And then for the Mulberry bag, so I'm not super familiar with Mulberry, so I'm not familiar with any of these bag names, but we have the Billie mini pouch. It's described as being able to be carried by top handle or just using it as an actual pouch inside of another bag. But I thought it's not like a pochette accessoire, which that you could just drop in a bag because it's just a rectangle. But this actually has this hemisphere kind of look with this thicker top handle, and then it has the actual 3 of the Miffy bunnies as part of the strap. I don't know, you see in the picture here what I mean. They're kind of peeking out from behind the strap. And I think having it as a coral orange to get kind of that red in with a nice contrast blue, I think that's really nice. I think it's a fun colorway, but probably not for everyone though. For me, off the bat, immediately I'm just looking at the Gucci bag, and it's basically just a rectangular tote, the kind that you would get free if you went to a makeup counter or something like that. I understand this one's leather and it has a special actual print, but still in the same sense, it is just 2 rectangles of leather sewn together. Meanwhile, the Billie pouch, while that is an existing bag that Mulberry has, they gave it a little bit of special treatment. I think for me that shows a little bit more care and a little bit more I don't know, they're having a little bit more fun with it. So for me, it's gonna go to the Mulberry bag.
Winner,
Mulberry Billie mini pouch.
Round 1, match 2.
Marc Jacobs snapshot
Versus
Bottega Veneta Calimero bucket.
Fight.
Alright, next up we have the Marc Jacobs Year of the Rabbit snapshot. I love this bag. So basically it is the normal snapshot in this kind of peachy kind of color with rose gold hardware, but then for me what's super interesting is that it's not the actual bag that has what you call the application, it's the strap. It's covered in this faux fur, and then it has a little rabbit medallion on the end of it. So in reality you could actually take off that strap and have it just as this peachy bag and use it with a different strap or something like that. But I love that the focus is on the strap instead of the bag. I think that's super fun. It's definitely a unique treatment of how to modify a bag to make it more special. And then up against it we have the Bottega Veneta Calimero bucket bag. If you're familiar with me at all, I am a fan of Bottega Veneta. I don't have anything really from them, but this feels like one of those cop-outs. Like, if you go to the website, you can actually click on like Lunar New Year, go to this page, and you'll see all the bags. And honestly, this is the bag that I feel like is the most interesting out of the ones. Like, it's all kind of just like, here's a different bag, but in different colors. At least this one, it has like the foulard intreccio, that like almost like pleated leather being woven. But again, like the only thing that seems special about this is that it's red, and that's kind of disappointing. I mean, I'm not seeing it in real life, but if there's nothing like visible at all from the outside to make it special, it basically is just a red bag. But then here's the thing, if we're comparing both of these bags, it's tough, because like, if we were looking just at the bags, for some reason I know like they have nothing really in common. Obviously, like the Calimero bucket, it has a much more interesting structure, the way that they used the leather to create this form and shape. It feels very structural, it looks very heavy duty, and it is. It's a pretty decently heavy bag. But like, for them to not even do some sort of like special thing to make it seem more like You're the Rabbit, there's not really much playfulness. It's just turning a bag red. And maybe like for their clientele, they just want like a normal bag that's just red for good luck. But like, when reading about a bit of like some of the customs when it comes to like the You're the Rabbit, it's about having something that's shaped like rabbit or looks like rabbit in some way that brings that luck. The Marc Jacobs one, it does it in a subtle way with the medallion and the faux fur, but it still is there, and I think it's just gonna go to the Marc Jacobs snapshot.
Winner.
Marc Jacobs snapshot.
Round 1. Match 3.
Moschino Bunny Biker Bag
Versus
Givenchy 4G Oswald bag.
Fight.
Next up, we have the Moschino Bunny Biker Bag. That's just what I'm gonna call it, because the name is like insane. It's like 50 words long, I don't know. Basically, it's just the regular black biker bag, which I think is hilarious. It's funny because it's kind of like the cross between like the Chanel girl bag and then just like a Chanel classic flap. And I don't know if this even came out like before the girl bag came out. I am not like super well versed on like the history of it, but like the girl bag is like, it looks like a shirt, like a little one of the Chanel cardigans, and then it also has the features of a classic flap, like the interwoven leather into the chain, and then it is like a flat bag. So the rabbit that Moschino's capsule is all about is Bugs Bunny, and they put like his little like gray ears coming out of like behind the like collar of the bag, which is a little weird for me, but like that's what it is, and I do think it's funny. I do love Bugs Bunny, and I think the bag, it's camp. It's very camp, and I think it does work. And then up against that is the Givenchy 4G with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is a Disney character. It's like one of the first ones. I don't know if it was like right after Mickey or maybe even before it or something. I can't remember. I don't have like Disney history like ingrained in my brain. But I do like this bag. It is a denim version of the 4G bag, which is kind of like their flap with like the metal logo on the front. I think it's also because it's denim, it works better with the way that they apply like the graphics. So the Oswald and like there's other little like shapes and stuff like that. Some of them are prints, but some of them are patches. And I think that is kind of what makes it work. You know, people put patches on denim jackets all the time, you know? Looking at both of these bags side by side, it's kind of interesting that both of these brands collaborated with like, for one is like Looney Tunes, the other is Disney, and like they pulled into these IPs that had existing rabbit characters. I don't know, it's just something that's like, okay, you're like using like the idea of collaboration in a different way. For me, it's like a little bit lazy, but also like kind of smart. I don't know, I'm somewhere in the middle there. That being said, sure, the patches and the graphics are fun, and I do love that it's patches instead of all just like printed, but then the fact that this bag is so camp, the Moschino bag with the ears actually like attached to it, I think it's hilarious. I think it's like a little ugly, but in like a really fun way. I wouldn't call it like a structural change, but there's actually like a thing popping out of your bag. I think that's hilarious, so it's gonna go to Moschino.
Winner.
Moschino Bunny Biker Bag.
Round 1. Match 4.
Loewe Bunny Bag.
Versus
Burberry Rabbit Small Loewe Bag.
Fight.
And then for the last couple bags of round 1, we have the Loewe Bunny Bag in shearling. I think this bag is really cute. It's basically kind of like their existing bunny bag, but instead of the ears going just straight back, they elongated the ears and then they knotted them, so then it kind of becomes like full floppy ears. I think it's so cute. I do understand that like red can be a very important color, but then for them to keep it like this neutral, I don't know, reminds me of like a stuffed animal or something. I think it's super fun. And then next up we have the Burberry Lola bag with this like, rabbit motif in like faux fur. The Lola being kind of like Burberry's answer to like their classic flat bag. It kind of is just this rectangle that they use as a canvas for the shearling. And I'm not quite sure how the motif is added on. It looks kind of like it's embroidered onto this faux fur, which if it is, that's even better, unless it's like individually tufted into the faux fur, kind of like fleecy kind of looking thing. But one thing I do think is cute is that looking at like the rabbit's ears when they're like back to back, it does make like a little heart, and I think that's fun. But then comparing the two bags, honestly, like we have one where it does have like an interesting motif where it's like, for Burberry, it's like the rabbits and they also make hearts. And then it seems to be like embroidered or something like that. And you can tell there's like a little bit of effort put in there when it comes to the way that this theme is presented. But then you have the Loewe bunny bag that's literally like, it looks like a stuffed animal. Like it looks like a plush toy. Like Loewe already has like these existing like folded leather animal bags. And for them to like just alter the rabbit one a bit to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more festive. I don't know. I think honestly it's the Loewe bunny bag that gets this round.
Winner, Loewe bunny bag.
Alright, so that was the end of round 1, and we are going to move on to the semifinals.
Mulberry Billie mini pouch, Marc Jacobs snapshot, Moschino bunny biker bag, Loewe bunny bag. Semi-final, match 1.
Mulberry Billie mini pouch
Versus Marc Jacobs snapshot. Fight.
I really love the Mulberry collaboration with Miffy. Honestly, the bag that sparked the whole idea for this Lunar New Year Battle Royale was, I saw this Mulberry tote. It looked like it was just like a canvas tote with like a Miffy face embroidered on it. I like tried to find it online. I could not find it. I don't understand. Like maybe it's only in Asian markets or something like that. Or maybe it's just a bag that you get when you buy something. I'm not sure. But then I started looking at some of like the Mulberry bags for Lunar New Year, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe some people are actually taking it seriously, and that's kind of like where I like found some interest. But then comparing that bag to the snapshot, I do think the snapshot has a lot more rewearability because like the whole Year of the Rabbit theme of that bag is a lot more subtle. Like I said, you could like just change out the strap and make it like just more like a typical bag. But also like the Billie mini pouch just looks kind of inconvenient. Like I know a lot of people love carrying their like little tiny like top handle bags. Like, that's like Jacquemus, like Le Chiquito, and like all these other like little tiny things. Like people love carrying these tiny bags by the top handle, but I think for me, when it comes to versatility, obviously the snapshot has a little bit more versatility and is maybe easier to carry. For the Mulberry bag, I just don't really see the longevity of it unless you're like a huge fan of Miffy / Nijntje. Nijntje is what Miffy is called in Holland because Nijntje is actually a Dutch character. So that's why I just threw it in there. Really, it comes down to that, and I think that's why the Marc Jacobs snapshot gets this round.
Winner, Marc Jacobs snapshot. Semi-final, match 2.
Moschino bunny biker bag
versus Loewe bunny bag. Fight.
Jeremy Scott, the creative director of Moschino, if you're not aware. Jeremy Scott knows camp. For example, like the Met Gala, one of the theme was camp, so many celebrities were wearing Moschino because he does it so well. That being said, while I admire the rabbit ears, like the Bugs Bunny ears sticking out of the biker bag, I kind of don't get the placement of them. Like the fact that they're behind the collar kind of just stuck them on somewhere that like kind of made sense. I don't know. Maybe that's like me being overly critical, but it's just something that kind of I don't quite get about this bag. And then on the other side, we have the Loewe bunny bag, where, like I said before, it's playing off of like these already existing like folded leather animal bag shapes, but then like adding the shearling just makes it so fun. And I think it has this kind of like lightheartedness without being too unserious, where like the biker bag is very unserious. It is like not taking itself seriously at all. Having something that's kind of surreal and almost too silly makes a bag less wearable, while like this rabbit, even though the bunny bag from Loewe is more kind of out there in the shape department, it has a bit more wearability because it's not like random animal body parts coming out of something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Y'all know that I am a sucker for Loewe, but I think in general, actually comparing the two, I do think the bunny bag takes this one.
Winner, Loewe bunny bag.
All right, so that was the end of the semifinals. Now it's time for the finals. Ooh.
Final. Marc Jacobs Snapshot versus Loewe bunny bag. Fight.
Both of these bags actually have a sense of playfulness in the way that they use like shearling / faux fur in like an application on the bag. And I think they both do it very well. That being said, the way that they both do it is very different. For the snapshot, the general, like the actual like camera bag part of the bag, it just is this really nice dusty peach, like rose gold hardware, and then you get this like ostentatious, very flashy, like faux fur strap, which I think is actually hilarious. Like, I would almost love to see someone like carry the bag, or not even carry the bag, but just have that with like little pom-poms attached to where like the clips are and just wear it as a scarf. I don't know, something like that. I think that'd be so funny. But in general, it is a bit more of a subtle take on Year of the Rabbit, since the only rabbit on it is this little like medallion on one side of the strap. And then we have the Loewe bag, which kind of goes like full face, like balls to the wall when it comes to rabbit. Like, it is just, you're carrying a rabbit. I don't know why I said balls to the wall. Even though it is more in your face with the rabbit, Loewe, since they are also kind of known for having like animal shaped bags, like they've had a lot of elephant things, bird things, mice, and they have had rabbits in the past, but then of course this one has like the knotted ear detail with extra floppy long ears, which I think is so cute. Because they've done things like it in the past, it doesn't feel so out of character and it doesn't feel so weird. It almost feels like, because Loewe has this tendency to like lean into artisanal kind of craftsmanship, that them doing this, it almost could be a normal bag. On top of that, like, I think Loewe in general has like a really nice way that they tackle like other cultures, like with the Chinese monochromatic pottery like capsule collection that they released. I thought it was beautiful. And actually, a lot of these bags I'm seeing have like little rabbit charms, so I think that's part of it. So I think that's a really great touch for if you want a super subtle bag from Loewe for Lunar New Year that has like a little rabbit charm. Loewe has a certain sensitivity when it comes to like other cultures and like appreciation, and at least from my perspective, they share in the craftsmanship and the technique without appropriating it. It's a way of like celebrating the culture without being offensive, if that makes sense. But let's go back to the bags. If we are just looking at the bags, honestly, this is a tough one. I am a sucker for a little bit of something unexpected, and with the snapshot having the strap be what's furry, I think that is genius. The Loewe bunny bag, it can read a little bit like kind of crafty, but I do think like the material elevates it a bit, it being like an actual shearling, but then still retaining its cuteness of like this almost like stuffed animal. They seem to be similar sizes of like what they can hold. They both have like the faux fur like shearling detail, and they both have a little bit of a nod, or a big nod, to Year of the Rabbit. It makes it so tough. So honestly, I think what I have to go off of is cuteness. So I think you can tell now, like, the winner for me is the Loewe bunny bag.
Champion, Loewe bunny bag.
And honestly, like, if you go to like Loewe's like Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year page, all the bags that they have are so cute. Like, there is a like raffia tote bag that has the knotted bunny ears. There's a basket bag made out of raffia or seagrass or whatever. They have all these different pouches and bags with the knotted bunny ears. They are so cute. And again, like I said, it feels like very respectful. It feels like a nice balance between something that's special for this time of year, for the Year of the Rabbit, but also something that has rewearability. Just go check it out. But that is all I have for you today. Let me know, do you guys agree with my choice? Honestly, it's kind of like a spoiler because I'm wearing a Loewe shirt. I really was having a tough time deciding like which bag should get the title this time. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm only wearing Loewe because this is the only like rabbit thing. I know these are Totoros and they're like spirits or whatever, but like they have kind of rabbit ears. I don't know. They always looked like rabbits to me when I was a kid. Do you think that like these brands did a good job at staying respectful for Lunar New Year, or do you think it was flat out, like, obviously they're businesses, so everything's kind of a cash grab, but do you think this is too much of a cash grab, or do you think they kind of did well this year. I read an article that was like, these brands are doing a great job this year. And I was looking at some of the things and I was like, are they? So I don't know, but that is all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you too care about the design behind designer luxury. Until next time, that's it. That's all I'm giving them.